If you've ever been a part of leading worship at church, you know that planning a Sunday worship service is so much more than just picking songs to sing each week. And every church does things a little differently. Worship teams can be large, they fluctuate every week, or maybe it's just you leading on an acoustic guitar. You're usually involved with greeting the congregation, starting off the service, figuring out transition moments between songs, key changes, last-minute baby dedication, on-stage announcements. You get it. There can be so much that's happening on a Sunday morning. Today, I'm gonna show you a simple but effective way to run tracks at your church. We're gonna build a full set list, customize things to fit my worship team, and I'll show you all the gear that you need to get the track audio sent to your sound system. Let's get into it. For this video, I'll be using the free Prime Multitrack app. I'll leave a link to get this app in the video description so you can download it and follow along. First, we're gonna need to create our set list. And that's where you'll add all the songs that you plan to play on Sunday. So if you click the Setlist button, you can see all of your set lists right here. I'm gonna click Create New, and I'm gonna type in this morning. And you can also choose a service date and click Create Setlist. So now we need to add some songs. We're gonna click on Add Song, and it's gonna pull up my track library. And these are all of the tracks that I've purchased from loopcommunity.com. We have over 30,000 tracks at Loop Community. Tracks for all the worship songs you can even think of that you'd wanna use at your church. So you can go there and buy a track, and then they'll show up here in the library. We're gonna start our service with Goodbye Yesterday. I'm gonna go ahead and search it right here. And I'm gonna pull in that track by tapping on it, click Original, and Add to Setlist. Now, once the song is downloaded to your device, you don't need an internet connection. So you just need an internet connection to download the songs. So I've got Goodbye Yesterday. Let me talk about what you're looking at here on the screen. Up here at the top, this is the song overview. This shows you where in the song you are. So the verse, chorus, bridge. Bottom left corner, this area, this is all of your instrument faders. So the red faders are the important ones. These are the ones that your band is gonna follow along to. You've got the click track, you've got the cues, which are gonna let you know which part in the song you're in, like chorus, 2, 3, 4. And then you have Prime MD, which are those band director cues, like electric guitar in, vocals in, worship leader out, that type of thing. So you can go ahead and use these faders to turn the instruments down. Let's just say, you've got a drummer, so we're gonna turn the drums off. You can also use the mute and solo buttons if you want to listen and solo to them. Let's just say you have a percussion player, so you're going to turn the percussion off. You can adjust and customize the mix of those songs however you want to do. Up at the top of the Prime app, you've got the master fader, which is the overall volume of the entire song. You can turn it down or up. You've got a previous button, a play button, stop, next song button. This button right here is a loop button. If you want to choose to loop and repeat a section, you have a fade out button. And so that is your main transport controls. Then over on the right-hand side, you can choose the BPM. You can slow it down. You can speed it up, change whatever BPM you want. You could tap tempo, the BPM, if you'd like. You can also choose the key of the song, and Prime will automatically transpose these tracks to that key. So I'm actually going to transpose this to the key of A. So we're going to do Goodbye Yesterday in the key of A. So let's go ahead and press play on this and just hear what this sounds like. Ready?
4, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, so we've got our first song. Let's go ahead and add in a second song. I'm gonna click the library and we're gonna do Firm Foundation. We're gonna use an enhancement track. I love enhancement tracks. Now, enhancement tracks are designed specifically to play along with a full band. So remember how in Goodbye Yesterday, we had to mute the drums because we had a drummer. Well, with enhancement tracks, we've actually designed these tracks to be able to work with a full band. Even if you have every instrument in your band, these enhancement tracks are more electronic sounding and they can be layered in to really fill out the sound of your band. And you don't have to mute anything. That was our goal when we made these. So let me go ahead and play it so you can hear what it means. So all percussive elements, electronic instruments, synths.
Chorus, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All instruments that'll work with a full band. And you don't have to mute anything. Now let's go ahead and customize this track a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and change the key to the key of A and tap right here, change it to the key of A because we want it to flow right out of Goodbye Yesterday. We're also going to edit the arrangement a little bit. Some of these choruses over here and bridges get a little long, so I'm gonna click Edit and I'm gonna choose Edit Arrangement. double tap on the bridge to delete it, And you can move these blocks around too wherever you want. So if I just click and drag, I can move these blocks. So let's just say I'm like, you know what? For some reason, I want to do this chorus, I want to do it after the tag. You can just move it just like that by dragging and dropping it. So you can double tap on a section to delete it, or you can double tap and add a new section. So you're like, hey, we want to do another chorus. I'm going to click add new, and now I have 2 choruses back to back here. So in Prime, you can edit the arrangement really easy by dragging the blocks around, deleting the section blocks, or adding a whole new one. It's really amazing how you can customize a track arrangement in Prime. What's also really cool is that the section cues, the ones that say verse 2, 3, 4, those automatically update depending on how you've arranged your song. So now that I added that chorus, check it out.
Chorus 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That section cue automatically updated and was added. Another thing you can do for arrangements is that while the song is actually playing, you can choose to repeat a section. So let's just say you are, really, this bridge is going great. And you're like, we just want to keep doing this bridge. I'm going to go and press play. And while this bridge is going, I can press the repeat button, and I can choose to repeat the bridge once or infinitely. Let's repeat it once and watch what happens here.
Down bridge 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It repeated that section, and then it turned off the repeat function because we only wanted to repeat it once. But you could also turn on infinite, and it'll just keep doing that bridge section over and over and over and over. So it's a way you can really be spontaneous while running tracks.
Down bridge 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Now let's talk about transitions between songs. We want these 2 songs to flow together really easily and really smoothly. So they're both in the key of A, which is a good starting point. But let's talk about the transition features inside of Prime that make this really smooth. In the right-hand side of the set list, you'll see a little square. And when you tap that, it gives you the transition options. You can choose how the songs flow into the next song. Starting with the square, stop, that's just the default one. What that means is that when it gets to the end of that song, it's just gonna stop. It's not gonna do anything. You'll have to manually tell Prime to advance to the next song. But then let's go into the top of the list, crossfade. With crossfade on, what ends up happening is as the first song is ending, it fades out and it starts fading in the next song. Overlap does the same thing, but instead of fading it out, it actually starts playing the second song over the ending of the first song. Auto advance means that once it gets to the end of the song, it's going to just automatically go to the next song and press play. So it's actually going to wait till it gets all the way to the end of the song, and then it'll play the next song. With the advance transition option, when it gets to the end of the song, it's gonna load the next song, but it's not going to play it. The trigger transition option is really cool because if you're like, hey, you know what? When we get to the end of this song, we just want the click to keep going so that we could just keep playing maybe a spontaneous bridge or a spontaneous chorus, but we want to be on a click. And that's what the trigger option is for. So in this set list, I want this to flow really smoothly into the next song. So I'm gonna turn on crossfade. I'm gonna go ahead and press play, and let's just see what this sounds like as we go into Firm Foundation.
And 2, 3, 4.
Firm Foundation. Inbound.
Intro 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Nice. So it faded out that first song,
Verse 2, 3, 4,
faded in the
5,
second
6.
song. I also heard my Prime MD voice come in there, which is really great. You can customize that by going to settings and go to Prime MD, and you can turn on and off song announcements. With Prime MD song announcements, it actually will announce the next song that's coming up. Let's go ahead and look at actually adding a few Prime MD cues here. On Firm Foundation, I'm gonna add a Prime MD band director cue that just lets the band know, like, just keep it quiet, like maybe like just piano only. So I'm gonna click edit, go to Prime MD, and I'm gonna double tap in the beginning of the song, and I'm gonna look for one called like just keys, or how about just pads? How about that? Now again, you can actually search and create your own here. Like if I wanted to say, like, let's just say our piano player's name is Tom, I could say Tom in, and then the cue will actually just say Tom in. But let's go ahead, and I'm just gonna use this just pads one. I'm gonna add the cue, and we're gonna put it right here. I'm gonna press play, hit save, and press play so you can hear what this sounds like.
Just pads.
So you can put that wherever you want it to be in the song, but you can really customize those cues. You can click it and drag it to move it around if you want it to be a little bit earlier. That's fine too. But those band director cues with Prime MD are awesome. You can add them all the way down your timeline and use those to really guide your band through the song. All right, so now that our transitions are smooth and we've got our band director cues set of guiding our band through the song, we're gonna add a third song. And for the last song, we're actually gonna do an original. We're gonna play a song called Refuge. And this song was actually recorded live at the Worship Innovators conference. There's gonna be a link in the info on how to register for that conference in the video description. Make sure you come to this conference. This is a great conference that Loop Community throws where we teach worship leaders practical ways to lead worship and to plan for Sunday morning, writing chord charts, rehearsing a band, using tracks, making a great mix. All the practical things worship leaders need happen at the Worship Innovators Conference. So make sure you check that out. Sign up for the conference. We'd love to see you there. But this song is a song we recorded live at that conference. And let's go ahead and bring that one in. So this is called Refuge by Worship Innovators. I'm going to add it to my set list. Now it's going to download. Remember, once it's downloaded, you don't need the internet. So once I have my set list all made, I'm actually going to turn airplane mode on, because what we don't want to have happen is like my mom FaceTiming me in the middle of the worship set. Before we start this song though, I know I want to take a moment to pray. What I would love to have happen is actually have a pad in between Firm Foundation and Refuge. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add a pad by going to Library. I'm going to search for pad, and I've got some pads here. I'm going to bring one in. I'm going to just press and hold to move the pad to be third in my set. I'm going to change the key of the pad to be the key of A. And let's go ahead and set up these crossfades. So I'm going to turn on crossfade on this song, crossfade here, crossfade here. We're going to come out of Firm Foundation. I want this transition to actually start earlier. So here's what you can do. You can use the trim settings to trim the end section back, basically telling it to start that pad earlier. So I'm going to click on the trim. I'm going to pull this back by maybe like 10 seconds, like that.
N 2 3 4 5 6.
Prime Guitar Packs Volume 1/4/4, 7793 BPM. Key of A.
Okay, so Prime MD actually announced that pad, which if we didn't want that, we would just turn that off in settings. But now I'm in my pad, I can do a prayer, and then when I'm ready to go and start playing Refuge, all I have to do is do something called crossfade on demand. And you can crossfade on demand by either tapping on the next song to go to the next song, or hitting the advanced key. So let's go ahead and tap on the song.
Refuge.
I just double clicked on it.
2 3 4.
And it crossfaded on demand. It's fading out the pad
2 3
and bringing
4.
in Refuge. And now we're into the Refuge song. So with Prime, you can use these transitions, crossfade on demand, and pads to make really smooth sounding worship sets where all the songs just flow together and there's no interruptions. So along with being able to buy just about any song you'd ever need from loopcommunity.com, you can also upload your own audio into the Prime app. And it's really simple to do. All you do is you go to the loopcommunity.com website, and then in the top right corner, there's a little upload button. Click that, and then you're going to choose personal upload. You can then upload any audio files that you want to use inside of Prime. You'll go through a naming process where you can name the actual stems. You could name the drum track and the electric guitar track, the click and cues, and then you click submit. And within, honestly, just a few seconds, it's available to you inside of what we call Prime Cloud. All you do is you click on Library, and you'll go to your cloud uploads, and you can see a list here of all the different songs that you've uploaded to Prime Cloud, and you can use that audio inside of Prime. So you're not limited to just songs that you purchase from Loop, but you could use any audio that you have, maybe tracks that you've created. If you're like me, you're leading worship from acoustic guitar and you don't have your hands free to control an iPad like this. And that's why we developed the Looptimus Mini Controller. This is a wireless controller, battery powered, that you can connect to Prime, and you can assign these buttons to control different things inside of Prime. And it's really easy to do. All you do is you go into settings and you go to MIDI, And we're gonna go ahead and connect this Bluetooth device, Looptimus Mini right here, to Prime. And now I'm connected. And now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap on the MIDI in button, and anything you see here that has a dotted line around it can be used to assign one of these buttons. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the play button this button. I'm gonna make the stop button this one, and our next song this button. I'm gonna click MIDI in to save, and now we're good to go. I can go to the beginning of my set list, press button 1,
Goodbye yesterday.
and it starts song number 1.
2, 3, 4.
If I want to stop, I can press the stop button, go to the next song, press play, all with just using this simple controller that I can press with my foot. Looptimus Mini is an awesome controller, awesome device. Go to loopcommuter.com and order one for hands-free control of Prime. All right, so let's talk about how do you actually get the audio out of the iPad into your sound system. Let's talk about just the simplest and most basic way, and that's just using a cable. So this is a cable that you can buy on Amazon for like $10. And one end of the cable is a headphone jack. The other end of the cable is 2 1/4-inch cables. And so what this is doing is it's taking a stereo signal and it's splitting it into the left side and the right side. You just have to remember that red is right. Now what we've done in Prime is the clicking cues, those red faders that your band needs to hear, automatically go out of the left-hand side. Automatically, we automatically pan it. And then all of your instrument tracks go out of the right-hand side. So what you're gonna do is get this plugged into your iPad using probably an adapter you need to get from Apple. Plug it into your iPad, and then these go into 2 different direct boxes. One for the clicking cues and one for all of your tracks. And then those go to the sound system, and your sound team can turn up the tracks in the sound system for the audience to hear, and then they can get the clicking cues to the band through their in your monitor system, hopefully. Okay, so that's a very basic way to connect the iPad to your sound system using that 1/4-inch headphone jack. But what if you want a little bit more advanced? What if you want your sound team to have more control where they can mix the different instruments? Or maybe even EQ them or change things like that? Well, what you could do is you could use this device. This is something we've developed called Track Rig. And it is a really easy to use USB interface that you plug in to your iPad, and it gives you 8 different outputs, and they're all XLR outs. So you can plug these right into your Snake. So I could have the click coming out output 1, the guitars coming out output 2, the keys coming out 3, and so forth. You can map them however you want. So the Track Rig is a really great, more advanced way to route the audio out. All you have to do is plug it into your iPad. So I'm gonna plug it in, and then I'm gonna click on the outs button right here in the top right corner. And what it did is on every single instrument track, I now have the ability to choose which output I want that instrument to go out of. So if I want the keys to go out output 8, I can just tap on this and choose which output I want the keys to go out of. So I can manually set those. You can also do stereo pairs if you want to choose a stereo pair to send an instrument out of. You can tap on global, and this makes it really easy for audio routing because you can go into your settings and go to audio and preset all of the outputs you want instruments to go out of. So if you're just like, you know what, no matter what, every song in my set list, I want electric guitars to go stereo out output 5 and 6, okay? Then you can set those here, and then when you go back to your set list, check it out. Your electric guitars, you'll notice right here, are already set to global 5 and 6. That is amazing because now, no matter what, when I use Prime in future set lists, future songs that I add, my audio routings are already done for me. And that's the beauty of global audio routing. And you can just adjust that in Prime settings by going to settings, audio, and then go here and set all of your global audio routing settings. That will save you so much time on a Sunday morning. So that's what's awesome about the Track Rig, is that now your sound team has every single instrument out of its own output that they can mix right into your band so that it all sounds perfect. So that's how you build a basic set list inside of Prime. Adding songs to your set list, customizing the arrangement, changing the key, changing the tempo. We talked about transitions, using a MIDI controller, audio routing. There's so many things you can do inside of the Prime app. So I want to encourage you, go to loopcommuter.com, check out all the tracks we have. We have over 30,000 songs available to you there. You can buy them a la carte, so as you need them, or we even have a new thing that we launched called Tracks Pro. It's a track subscription. So you pay monthly or annually and you have access to any track in our library and you can use it right inside of the Prime app. So that's a great way to get started. If you're brand new to tracks and you've never purchased them before, maybe check out Tracks Pro. Subscribe, access the tracks that you need, and start using tracks. The most important thing when you're first getting started with tracks is don't feel like you have to do everything at once. So sometimes worship leaders feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to use a controller and an audio interface and set up MIDI cues and band cues and have pad transitions and all that type of stuff. Yes, you could do all of that, but it's important to just keep it simple when you're first getting started. What I would encourage you to do is just download one song. You don't even need to play with a track for every song in your set list. Maybe just do one song. To get your band used to playing with a click, to get your band used to playing with the cue in their ear, letting them know where they're going, just get used to the interface. Do one song, and then maybe the next week, do 2 songs. And then next week, maybe it's 3, and maybe you can add a MIDI controller after that and some pad transitions or an audio interface. Start simple. Don't feel like you have to do it all at once. So check out the link in the description to get the Prime app. Download it for your device. It's available on iPad, iPhone, and Mac. Make sure you download the app, check out track subscriptions called Tracks Pro, and hope you have a great time using the Prime app. Let me know how you're using it at your church in the comments.